friends, it's Lisa and welcome to a new video. So I'm going to be doing my October favorites for you today, and I think that this might be the last favorites video of this year. I still don't know if I'm going to be doing these types of videos next year, so maybe forever. But I am going to be just doing a yearly favorites video in December, so look forward to that. But this is going to be the last monthly favorites video, so I'm excited. But in case you haven't seen a monthly favorites video before, whether on my channel or just in general, I'm just going to go through kind of different categories and talk about different things that I enjoyed throughout the month. So if that interests you, just keep on watching and let's just get into it. So I'm going to start off with books because I know that that's probably what a lot of people care about on this channel. But the first book I want to mention is The Diviners by Libba Bray. So I'm going to try my best to explain this book. Maybe we'll just end up reading off the back of this. But this is set in the 1920s and we're following sort of a few different characters, but our main character, Evie, moves from Ohio, I think, to New York City. And basically when she moves there, these murders start happening. So her and her uncle and a few other people kind of try to figure out what's going on because they think that spirits, supernatural things are kind of at play. We have some characters that have these supernatural abilities that they aren't sure if they're the only ones out there like that. We have a murdering demon spirit thing. So there's a murder mystery as well. There's just a lot happening in this book, and it was a good mix of everything that I kind of enjoy. I think the mix of the supernatural and the murder mystery aspect was really interesting. I thought it was really well done. I didn't give this a full 5 stars. It just didn't give me that 5-star feeling, but it definitely was a standout for the month. I really enjoyed it. It definitely gave me some spooky vibes. I don't know if this book scares other people like it scares me, but this book genuinely freaked me out. I did a whole video where I read this book, so if you're curious on more of my thoughts, I will have it linked above and down below. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. I thought it was perfect for Halloween season, for spooky season. It really got me scared and in the Halloween vibes. So I definitely really enjoyed this. I definitely will be continuing on because it is a series. So yes, this was definitely a favorite from the month. And probably my favorite book that I read this month. Similar to last month, it's a part of the same series, we have A Torch Against the Night by Tahir. And as you can maybe see, we have some tabs. I actually annotated this book, and this is the first book that I've ever really annotated, so that was also really fun. But like I said, this is the second book in a series, so I'll kind of give you an explanation of the first book, and Ember in the Ashes. We're kind of following these two characters, one who kind of has lost everything. Her brother gets arrested for treason, so she seeks out the rebels in this world to kind of help her find her brother and get him out of prison. So the rebels agree to help her if she will go undercover and get information at this military academy in this world where our second main character is actually at. He is training to become a part of the military for this world. So we're kind of following those two characters, and it's so good. I literally haven't shut up about this series since I read An Ember in the Ashes last month, so if you're not new around here, you've probably heard me talk about this already. But this is the second book, and this takes place right after the events of the first book. It literally picks up right where the first one ends, which I really like because where the first one ended, I wanted to see everything that happened after that and kind of the aftermath and how these characters go about where they're left in the first book. So I really liked that aspect as well. But this series is just so good. Obviously, I've only read the first 2. I think I'm going to be reading the third one in November, but it's just so good. Tahir is so talented. The characters are amazing. The plot's amazing. The writing's amazing. Everything is amazing. And as you can see, I have a lot of tabs. So there was a lot of moments that I loved, moments that made me angry and sad, things that shocked me. There was just a lot of emotions happening during this read. But yeah, this definitely was my favorite book that I read in October. It's so good. If you have not read this series already, please do. It's so good. Also, my cat is walking around, so he might make an appearance. But yeah, these were definitely my favorite books that I read this month. I didn't have a bad reading month. I just think that these were kind of the standouts. Definitely my favorite books that I read this month. So yes, definitely had to mention these. So that's kind of it for books, but sort of along the same lines. Like I said, I annotated A Torch Against the Night, which is the first book I've ever annotated. So I thought I would share my annotating supplies because I had so much fun annotating that book. How many times am I going to say the word annotating? So yeah, annotating was definitely a favorite of the month. I've only done one book, so there's not much to say about it, but I had a great time with that book, and I will just kind of show you what I have in here. So I have some tabs, of course. I don't write in my books. I'm not quite on that level. I don't know if I will ever be on that level. I know a lot of people love to write in their books and make them personalized, and I think that's great. I think if anyone wants to do that, that is up to them. you do whatever you want to your books. I'm not quite on that level. I don't think I'm ever gonna write in my books, but you never know. But because I don't write in them, I just kind of have these like post-its that are kind of different colors, and they kind of correlate with the tabs that I have. I also have a bunch of pens in different colors, so if I want to write on just a normal sticky note, or I also have these translucent sticky notes that I've used to like underline certain things. I kind of have a lot of supplies to avoid writing directly in my books, but I found a way that works for me. And obviously I've only done this once, so I'm sure a lot of it is going to change. I don't want to do like a how I annotate my books video quite yet because I've only done it once. But yeah, that's kind of all of my supplies. I have a bunch of colored pens and a black pen, translucent sticky notes, as well as colored sticky notes, and some tabs. And I found that this worked really well. If I had like a thought about what was going on in the book, I would just write it down, but a lot of times I would just tab like the certain section or the certain piece of dialogue that I wanted to acknowledge. But yeah, this was my first time annotating and it was so much fun. I'm definitely excited to continue on and annotate more books. I definitely don't think it's going to be something I do with every book I read, probably just books that I'm really anticipating or ones I think I'm really going to love. And of course, if I start reading a book and feel the need that I need to annotate it, then I will as well. But yeah, annotating was definitely a favorite of the month as well. But let's just kind of get into the other things, the other categories. So I think I'm going to talk about music next. Okay, so like I say every month, I have my Spotify linked below if you want to go and check it out and see everything that I was loving in the month, but I'm just gonna kind of highlight some of my favorites. There were a lot of album releases in October. There weren't a lot of individual songs I have on this playlist that I added. It was mainly just like complete albums or mostly albums. So the first album that came out in October that I just completely got obsessed with was Cherry Blossom by the Vamps. I honestly think that Cherry Blossom might be my new favorite album from the Vamps. It's so good. Every song is just a bop or catchy, or just the lyrics are so good. Like every song is so good on this album. I feel like the Vamps aren't very popular here in the US. I think they're a lot more popular in the UK, but if you're not in the UK and you don't know who they are, please check them out. Please check out this album. It's so good. I would say my favorites, I don't know. It's hard to pick favorites. I think Part of Me is one of my favorites. I also really love Glory Days, which is like the first song on the album. Also, Treading Water is really good as well, but there's so many good songs on this album. The singles are also good. Married in Vegas, a bop. I'm just really excited about the direction that the Vamps are going in. I just love this album so much. I think it's so good. They're so talented, and I'm just so happy we have new music from the Vamps. So the next thing I have to talk about is another album. I have mainly albums to talk about this month, and that is Ashton Irwin's Super Bloom album. So Ashton Irwin is from the band 5 Seconds of Summer, which if you don't know, I love 5 Seconds of Summer. I've been a fan of theirs for a very long time. I definitely don't think I'm like as into them as I used to be, but I still love them. They're kind of always gonna be like my boys. I just love them. And Ashton has always been my fave. I just love him so much. But he released a solo album. I think quarantine just got him experimenting and trying new things, and he created a whole album by himself, and it is incredible. I just think it's really cool to get a whole album that's just him, because obviously with 5 Seconds of Summer, he is a drummer. He's very talented, and he's also had moments where he's sang in songs, but he doesn't typically sing. He doesn't normally do the vocals, which is understandable. I'm sure it's hard to sing and drum at the same time, so the fact that he did it at all anyways is incredible. But obviously, like, he doesn't really sing that much on 5 Seconds of Summer albums anymore, and it's really cool to hear his voice on a whole album. I also think that the music itself is very different from 5 Seconds of Summer sound, so that's really cool as well. It's kind of different from that. He's just really talented. The vocals, the music itself, the production, the lyrics, everything. He killed it. It's great. I'm very happy with it. Next, we have another like mini album, mini EP from one of my favorite groups, one of my favorite artists ever, and that is TXT, or Tomorrow by Together. They released an EP called Minnesota 1 Blue Hour, and it is so good. I don't understand how they are so talented and how everything they release is so good and better than the thing that they previously released. I feel like every time they release something, I'm like, oh, it can't get better than this. Like, they just continue to improve every time, and then they release something else, and I'm like, how did they top it? How do they continue to do this every time? Listen, I know that they are a K-pop group. I know K-pop is not for everybody, but if you're gonna check out one K-pop group, and it's not BTS, check out TXT. I just think that they're very talented, and I also think that they're doing stuff that's very unique. I don't see a ton of K-pop groups doing things like they're doing, and they're just so talented, and everything that they do is so good. I think if I had to pick a favorite, I'd probably pick Wishlist. It just makes me so happy listening to that song. But I feel like I do this with TXT all the time. It's like I have a favorite, but like realistically, the whole album or whatever they've released is my favorite because everything is so good. Every song. Always. But yeah, they're super talented. I love TXT so much. Please go and check them out if you have not already. Give it a chance. I know K-pop is not for everybody, but they're so good and I want everybody to listen to them. Can you tell? Okay, the next is kind of a few songs from an album that was released, but Positions by Ariana Grande was released at the very end of October, and to be honest, I haven't listened to it that many times. I've listened to it completely all the way through like 3 times, and I have felt differently about the album after each listen. I liked it, I didn't like it, and now I feel okay about it after each listen, so I don't know how I feel about this album, to be honest. I feel like Ariana Grande is definitely hit or miss for me, but I've been listening to her forever. She put out a song called Put Your Hearts Up, like that was like her first song ever, and I was listening to that when that came out. Like I've been listening to Ariana Grande pretty much her whole music journey, so I really like Ariana as a person. I think she's very talented. Just her music itself is kind of hit or miss for me depending on what it is. This album does have some good songs on it though, some that I know I like. I think I'm gonna have to give this album a few more listens and figure out how I feel about it. So the song Positions, which is like the single and the title track of the album, I do like. I think I'm gonna get sick of it pretty quickly, but I do like it. I also like Just Like Magic, 6:30, Love Language, and Point of View, or POV. I'm saying Point of View because she says Point of View in the song. I think Point of View is the best song on the album, but I do really like Just Like Magic. I think those are probably my 2 favorites, like out of all of them. But yeah, I would love to know if you've listened to this album, how you feel. I feel like it's getting a lot of mixed feelings, a lot of mixed reactions. Like Sweetener was kind of the same way. People loved it and people hated it. So I'd love to know how you think about Positions. I definitely like Ariana and her style and how this album came out. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. But those songs specifically I do like. But yeah, I think that is everything for the music. I pretty much named everything that I was listening to because so many albums came out in October that I was just kind of switching through, rotating through all those albums. But again, if you want to see everything, my Spotify is linked below. So for movies and TV shows, I don't think I have anything really to mention. I have one movie to mention. I didn't watch any new TV shows. I'm so bad at watching TV shows. I will either binge something in a day or it will take me like months to watch something. So we're working on it. I think it's just because I feel guilty when I'm not reading because of this whole channel booktube thing that I have happening, so I don't really watch much TV shows, but I do have a movie to mention, and that is The Nightmare Before Christmas. So I have seen this movie before, but it was a couple years ago, and I think I wasn't like completely paying attention. Like I definitely missed some things throughout the movie, so I was really happy to see it from start to finish for the first time this year, and it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I kind of understand why everyone is obsessed with it. I definitely don't think it's going to become like my favorite Halloween movie. I think that will always belong to Hocus Pocus and Halloween Town and Twitches, but I definitely think it's going to be a new favorite. It's definitely going to be one that I have to get into the rounds and watch every year around this time. I did really enjoy it. Kind of understand why everyone is obsessed with it. It definitely has quite a big following, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. Definitely going to have to watch it every year. It was a great time. Also the songs, iconic. So many great songs in this movie. So yeah, that's really all I have to mention for like movies and TV shows. So we'll just get into like the more random things. I have a couple of things to mention. So the first thing I guess could be considered maybe in the movie TV category, but BTS had like a online live concert thing that they did. It was 2 days in a row. It was almost the same set list, like there were a few songs that changed, but for the most part it was the same set list, and it was for kind of their Map of the Soul 7 album, and it was so good. I just want to see them live. I need this whole COVID thing to go away. I need BTS to tour close to me, and then I need to see them. It's going to happen at some point. I need it in my life because this was so good. The sets that they had were amazing. The choreography for a lot of the different songs that we've never seen live before was so good. They all did like their solo songs as well, and oh my god. I went from like having the best time with some of the solo songs, like with Namjoon's and Yoongi's. I was just like having a great time, and then Jungkook and Jimin's were a lot. They were very spicy. So this was all happening at like 3 in the morning too, or well, one was later than that, but the second day was 3 in the morning and I was having to watch this, and they were being so spicy and I just didn't know what was going on. And then Jin and Taehyung's made me sob, and then Hobi's was just so happy. It was a ride, but it was so great. They make me so happy. It was just such a great weekend, even if I did lose sleep and had the weirdest sleep schedule because of it. It was just a great time. Definitely want to see them actually live in person. at a concert someday, but for now, it did the job. It made me happy. And it was so good. I had to mention it. Now a couple more really random things, the kind of last things I have to talk about. I have a candy to mention because trick or treat, my mom was buying candy for trick or treat. And I kept eating it on her because she got a box of Reese's things and these Reese's sticks were in there. And these are just so good. I don't know where these have been my whole life. I don't think they're new. Apparently they're not new. But I've had them for the first time this month and I love them. It's just chocolate with peanut butter and then like these wafers in between as well. It's just really good. I don't understand why I've never tried these before. I feel like anything new that's Reese's, my mom is normally like on it because she loves Reese's. So I'm kind of surprised I'd never seen these before, never tried them before, but I'm obsessed. One of my new favorite candies, definitely. And then the last thing I have to mention is a gift from one of my friends, Darian. She sent it to me and I was not prepared. It was very much a surprise. I really did not see it coming. It's an Appa stuffed animal. I love him so much. So Appa is from the show Avatar: The Last Airbender, in case you didn't know. It's a very popular show. I've been watching it for the first time. I feel kind of like a fake. I have this stuffed animal and I haven't even finished watching the 3rd season yet. Sorry. But yeah, I don't want it to finish, but I have been watching it and really enjoying it, and I just love Appa so much. Actually, I think I did tweet, like, episode 1, I started watching Avatar for the very first time, and I was like, I tweeted I needed an Appa stuffed animal. I guess ask and Darian delivers. I'm very happy with this. Very lucky to have a friend like Darian in my life. Was not expecting this. She's very nice. We love to see it. We love Darian. I will have her channel linked below. Please go and subscribe to her. But yeah, this has been my cuddle buddy for the whole month of October. Love Appa, love the stuffed animal, and I'm just very lucky to have a friend like Darian. But yeah, I think that's it. I always feel like I forget something at the end of these monthly favorites videos, and I typically do end up forgetting something, but I think that is everything for my October favorites video. I'd love to know if you have any favorites from the month. Books, movies, TV shows, random things like maybe candy or a stuffed animal, literally anything. Let me know a favorite from the month. I'd love to hear it. But I think other than that is going to complete this video. So don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe down below if you have not already. Also, don't forget to click the little bell icon so you can be notified anytime I upload. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.